Hey guys, this is Nova One Winged Angel here, and right now I'm going to show you guys how to overclock your graphics card. Right now I'm actually going to be working on the 5770, and that's just because this is the card that I have available to me, because it is the card I have in my system. I will, however, be upgrading soon because it's a little embarrassing that I actually have the Beast Cosmos 2 case with such a low-end graphics card. I will definitely be waiting for the Kepler series NVIDIA graphics cards, which is a 600 series, to see what I will be upgrading to. Anyways, that's beside the point. So here I'm going to show you guys how to overclock your graphics card. So first, what you want to do is go ahead and go to Google and download MSI Afterburner. I will probably provide a link on the description below. But it's pretty easy to find. Just go on Google and put MSI Afterburner, and you should be able to find it very easily. So once you get done installing it, make sure you put a shortcut on your desktop just so you know where it's at. However, if you're a little above average in terms of handling your computer, you pretty much know how to find it very easily anyway. So with that aside, let's continue on with this overclocking guide. So once you get done downloading it, what you want to do is you want to open it. So I'm going to go ahead and open it, and there we go. I gave it, I gave it control so I can go ahead and execute the exe file. And here's a program, and this is what a normal Radeon 5770 card looks like. You see the voltage is at 1125, the core clock is at 850, and the memory clock is at 1200. And the fan speed is at auto, which means that the card itself will change itself to adapt to whatever heat it's actually producing. So that's all fine and dandy. What you want to do next is go to settings, and you want to make sure that you can unlock voltage control and unlock voltage monitoring. This is very important because later on when you go above normal clock settings, you're gonna need a little bit more juice from your power source, and this is how you will get it. So make sure you have those two things checked. So you click OK. So the first thing is, you will see before anything else, you will see that you have a limit of 960 over here, right here where it's the core clock, and the limit for the memory clock will be 1445. I believe it's 1445, but yeah, somewhere around that ballpark for the memory clock. But yeah, that's gonna be your limit for a normal Radeon card. And for an Asus card, which is also a 5770, you will find that the clock actually begins at 960, and from there goes on to whatever setting you want to put it at. So then you ask yourself, well, before you ask yourself, just go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and show you my profile too, which is me at 960 megahertz and at 1400 memory clock. For the memory, and the core clock is at 960, and I have not changed my core voltage at all. Keep note of that. That's how much you can overclock. Well, I can overclock without having any issues with the card or with stability issues or anything like that. And you notice that the core voltage is not messed with, so the card's pretty good. So it's fine. That's as high as you should go without increasing your voltage. So it works well, it works perfectly. Every card is different. You might want to try it out. If you're having issues, you may actually want to increase your core voltage. And if that doesn't work, you might want to decrease the settings because your card may not be able to overclock that high. But pretty much my card can, and it's pretty much the basic one. So I'm sure that anybody else's card can, but maybe some cards are faulty or something. You never know. So make sure that you do actually be careful when you try to overclock. So this is a normal overclock. This is an overclock that's actually allowed within the means of the normal means of this program. However, there is a thing, and you will see that I still have all this space right here. There is a thing that, or a setting that can be changed, which unlocks your graphics card to be able to, or unlocks the program to enable the graphics card to be controlled by this program even further, and to the point where it's unlocked. And this is where the Asus BIOS, for the 5770 and the normal BIOS will actually will cease to make a difference, because this is it's program controlled now, so you can actually even surpass further overclock for both cards the same way the same way for one you could do for the other using this program. So what you want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead on your MSI Afterburner shortcut. You want to go ahead and right click it and go to properties. On properties, you want to go ahead and open file location, and then go to the CFG file, the configuration file, and double click that. And what you want to do actually is go all the way down and make sure that over here where it says unofficial overclocking EULA, that you type in this statement, and it has to be completely the same way you see it here, or else the thing will not be unlocked and you will not be able to go further than the limitations that the program provides for you without any kind of changing. So right here, you want to put, I confirm that I am aware of unofficial overclocking limitations and fully understand that MSI will not provide me any support on it. So when you put all that, then you go ahead and click the unofficial overclocking mode to 1, and the accessibility checking period to 0, and the clock domain workaround to -1. I believe that is all you have to put, but here I'm going to show you the rest of my settings just so you can actually see what it looks like, just in case you may have to change something else. Here are the settings. I'm going to keep scrolling slowly right here. Just feel free to pause just in case. But pretty much just try the settings I showed you first, because yeah, that's pretty much all that you really need. So yeah, these are the settings right here for MSI Afterburner. So once you do that, you want to save it. I had problems actually saving it inside of the file here, the MSI Afterburner folder. So what I did is I saved it to my desktop and then dragged and dropped it into the actual MSI Afterburner folder and just overwrote the CFG file, and then it saved it that way. So either way works. After you do that, go ahead and close MSI Afterburner and open it, and if that doesn't work, then just restart your computer and hopefully that does work. So once you do that, you should see that you had this huge meter that's blank left over, and for the core clock as well. See, because I can go to 1560 now, but yeah. So now you're unlocked. What you want to do is what I did. You may pick different numbers for it, but what I did is that at number 3, I picked my stock settings. Usually when I'm watching like a Blu-ray movie or something, I will use my stock settings because I don't need the juice. You know, I really don't need it. If anything, I may even underclock a little bit, but there's no point for that. I'm just gonna leave it the way it was meant to be. So stock settings is good for me for whenever I'm doing Word, listening to music, pretty much not doing anything graphic intensive. Now, whenever I'm running, you know, like Fallout Vegas, or you know, a game like that, or what else do I have? Dead Island, whatever. Hold on, let me check what I have here. Whatever. Assassin's Creed, blah blah blah, Call of Duty, Fear. Whenever I'm using any game that is pretty much pretty much any game out right now, except probably for Battlefield, which I don't have, because I am a Call of Duty fan, and but that's a different argument for that. I'm not even gonna get into that. But point is that yeah, that's the setting I will normally use, and like I said earlier, I do have a Cosmos 2K, so I can pretty much have the fans on high, and it will do wonders in keeping your stuff cool. But if you're not too confident, what you may want to do is increase your fan speed to say 100 or 70 or something like that, just to make sure that your card doesn't overheat. So yeah, this is my number 2 setting is my my gaming overclocking. But usually I won't stick to here. I'll just skip that one and go ahead and go for the fully unlocked settings that I have. The unlocked settings are right here. The core voltage is moved up to 1274. The core clock is a full 1000. The memory clock is 1390, which I'm actually going to go ahead and reduce right now, because there is a memory throttling done by AMD, which will actually decrease your performance if you overclock too much. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at, let's leave it at 1300. You can actually click that little box and type in the number that you need. So you click 1300. I'm going to go ahead and click save, and then I'm going to save it to profile 1, because that's where my highest overclock is at. So yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and do that again to this one, 1300. So then save and click 2. So so yeah, that's pretty much all what overclocking is. Make sure you experiment, because you may be able to get higher clocks than me, but then again, you may not be able to get higher clocks than me. So make sure you experiment and you just kind of do your own thing, because because at the end of the day, I mean, not every card is the same. Some cards are completely different, so so you really want to make sure you know what you're doing and what's best for your system. So but yeah, so pretty much just make sure you keep track of your temperatures, and if you see any garbage, immediately you know, just go down a little bit, because you don't want to risk any damage to your system. But anyways, but yeah, just make sure that everything is all good, and you can even check your temperature over here. It has a neat temperature monitoring, so you can monitor your temperature over here on the side, and you can also you know, check your fan speed and GPU usage. This is GPU usage, fan speed, and then the core clock over here to see how much graphics you're actually using. But yeah, and the reason why it's going through the roof is probably because I'm using fraps. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, this is a pretty nifty program, and this is pretty much overclocking 101 for all the, you know, the new users and semi-pros out there that are looking just to get a little bit more bang for their buck. This has been One Winged Angel here. I hope you guys found this video useful and helpful. Leave a like if you found this useful or entertaining in any way. And I'm out.